Hello everybody, my name is Digital Cake and welcome back to World Conqueror 3. So, if you notice things are slightly different, it's because I attempted an episode and it failed utterly horribly. What I mean by that is recording software was like, hey, you're doing great. And Windows was like, hey, you got an update. So I'm just gonna shut down the recording software and the game and everything else for you while I, put up that patch that you don't need. Thank you, Windows. But regardless of how rude Windows is to me, let us continue. So, we're holding on to the Korean peninsula quite easily, although they're contesting our place. We're also pushing quite heavily into China, although forces are starting to thin out quite quickly. We're also able to swing around and be able to get quite a bit of oil from Russia. Because you see, during World War II, little fun fact here, Japan had a very hard time with, fighting for so long, was because they didn't really have all too many sources of oil, aka gasoline, which, was made into gasoline. So they heavily depended on the US for oil, but when it was embargoed, they lost about 90% of their import of oil, which severely slowed down their assault. And that's why they attacked a lot of the smaller islands, was because they had a bunch of oil already stockpiled there, and they were hoping that they would be able to get it and the campaign would continue, because otherwise they wouldn't have been able to last very long. Little fun fact there, just saying. Okay, so Europe looks pretty chaotic right now. In Europe, usually is very chaotic for like the first 100 turns of the game, and I mean, it's only turn 8, and look how chaotic it is, because Germany's still pretty heavily pushing, although the UK has already landed in mainland Europe, which is usually bad for Germany almost every time in my experience, where the UK actually was able to land. Usually ended up in Germany getting defeated before conquering what they did in real life. That's just a little something that we have to worry about, Okay, so I can actually use fighters to take that building down. Boom, got another building. One step closer. I want to go straight for this oil, because as long as I can have oil, I can basically progress as far as I'd like, with relatively zero attack against me. Okay, yeah, let's pull back these ships. Only because I try to keep the generals alive as long as possible, because they're very useful to me. I think just about everybody's in the war. Everybody who would be in the war is already in it, pretty sure. Wait, no, I don't think the US officially entered the war yet. Well, I pushed them into it. Yeah, Germany does not look like it's in a very good spot. Usually Germany would have already taken Paris by now. In most of my playthroughs, anyway, their experiences. Germany takes Paris in like the first couple turns, and I mean, after that, it's kind of just like the slow downfall of France. Okay, yeah, so we're losing land on the Korean Peninsula, but we're able to pound pretty heavily down on the Chinese elsewhere, and we just cut off their ally. We're cutting off their ally Mongolia. And we're also stopping the Soviet Union from pushing towards them to help them out, which will be very helpful to us. Yep, there we go. Yeah, I don't know. Some of these generals are kind of scaring me because they're starting to be able to land invade me, and I don't like that land invasion idea. Which is why I'm going to start pushing faster on these guys. There we go. Okay, there we go. Right now, movement should be pretty decent into China, because we want to cut off their oil supply as quickly as possible. Because their oil supply is all that's going to run them a majority of the game. As long as I can wipe out China early, oh, I'm going to have to deal with India. Thailand, how you doing over there? Yeah, Thailand, you're doing pretty decent. I'm going to have to worry about Australia. And the UK over here as well as France, which somehow still has lands over here. Oh yeah, because this is Indonesia, well, Indochina, which turns into Vietnam. Like, this is actually why we got into the Vietnam War, was to help France try to keep its territory in Indonesia. Well, in Vietnam. Oh no, UK just planted that. Oh no, I'm definitely gonna fall because of that. What the frick is that? Oh yeah, they're building something. See, because you can build like like, you could build like bunkers, anti-land forts, like trying to find one for it, like this. You could also build the coastal artillery. Okay, I'm gonna take advantage. So like I said, taking advantage. Taking advantage. Pump out some more troops. I see we can safely bombard them from there. Okay, yeah, that's decent damage. Yeah, we're gonna want to keep spawning more armored cars, because we need to wipe out any land units that they launch our way. Because if we're able to do that, like wipe them completely out, then we're pretty much golden on that front. Huh. Ugh, that actually kind of hurt. Trying to find out. So there's lots of troops actually that they have. Ooh, I can't risk that guy claiming that back. So I think I'm just going to do the reasonable thing and start causing some havoc by paratrooping some troops into mainland China. There we go. Nope. Oh yeah, so Spain for some bizarre reason now took that area right there, but I don't know why. Yeah, Germany's starting to lose their lands, which sucks because I usually rely on them a lot whenever playing on any Axis team, because Germany basically distracts all of Europe for about a quarter of the game. I mean, they're doing pretty decently down below. I mean, considering Russia has already claimed up a lot of things in Romania, and Greece is still yet to fall. I mean, Germany has barely even begun to push into Russia, which sucks because usually need them to wipe them out. Just I never have to worry about them showing up 5 minutes later, being like, "Okay, now that we destroyed all the Nazis, we're coming for you next." Oh, thank you. Missed y'all so much. Uh. Oh yeah, so we're sieging their capital. We're moving down the coastline. Oh yeah, we landed in Hong Kong. Now we're gonna want to try to cause as much havoc as possible down in central China, because if we can distract China from launching all their forces right here, we can get pretty far into Mongolia, if not destroy all of Mongolia before they can really do all too much. Which would be very nice. We could also try to take some of these cities near in Russia, but I mean, Yekaterinburg, Saratov, Kiev. No, I'm pretty sure that's Kiev. Stalingrad, New Delhi, Yangon, Mumbai, Hanoi, Bangkok, Singapore, Jakarta, Darwin, Brisbane, Port Moresby, Manila. Yeah, see, I can pronounce names. I can't. I really can't. I can barely do it. I am terribly bad at names, especially of countries or like even cities. Chengchong, Ulaanbaatar, Lhasa. I know that because it's Tibet, and I know Tibet is technically its own country, but like no nation recognizes it because nobody wants to take off China. It's like recognizing Taiwan as the actual, as actual China, which is also a bad idea if you want. Oh well, there went the first Axis power, Thailand, which is great, by the way. See, losing Axis powers is way more deadly than losing Allied powers. Because if you're losing, like, if you're on the Allies side and you lose like one or two nations, so what? I mean, there's just so many people, well, so many nations a part of like the Allied nations during that time. You know, I mean, like, losing one nation wouldn't really do all too much. I mean, like, if it was a massive nation, like, say, if the U.S. just randomly fell apart and boom, invaded by Nazis or something, I don't know. A lot of the time, lots of experiences, I have Nazis end up invading the U.S. like every time. It's hilariously funny to watch, but I mean, it's kind of sad. Hey, China, what you doing over here? Get out of here. See, now comes the second most difficult part. You have to constantly defend your mainland from the US and Canada invading you, which is ridiculously annoying because they'll just come out of nowhere and just be like, hey, buddy. What you doing over here? I'm just like, I'm trying to build an empire. Can you please go away? Nothing. No can do, bucko. No thanks. Yeah, I think I'm going to keep trying to push into mainland China, regardless of that being there. Only because I need it to die. Okay, you know what? I'm going to end this episode right here. So, make sure to, like the video so YouTube doesn't wreck me. No, that's just about all. My name is Digital Kick, signing off. Bye-bye.